All right, guys. We're going to welcome our new employee, Jordan, to the team. Jordan! Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, Jared?
Welcome to the team, man. It's so good to have you here.
It's good to be here. I'm glad to be here. It's a good day. Looks like it's going to rain outside.
Well, why don't you go and take the new GT500 for a spin before it rains? Probably a good idea.
I guess so.
You know how to drive?
Twist my arm.
It's not a manual. You gotta use like this little dial.
Dial?
You okay with that?
It sounds good to me. I'm used to a stick shift, but it doesn't sound too tricky.
All right, man. Listen, go for a spin. Have a good time. Don't wreck the car because then you won't be working here. But we'll see you in a few, all right?
All right, sounds good. In the brand new GT500. Oh boy. This is my first time driving a GT500. First time driving a car with this much horsepower. I've only ridden in cars with this much power. I'm excited, needless to say. So let's let her warm up for a moment here. This is very different than what I'm used to. We've got ourselves a dial here for drive modes. That's nifty, I guess. And let's select sport mode and see what goes on here. Sport, okay. First drive in the GT500 2020. Make sure we're clear. I can already say this dual clutch. I've driven German cars. I've driven a Porsche, and I've driven, well, I guess that'd be about it, maybe an Audi. That's right. Those are the only dual clutches I've driven. And I gotta say, even just from a dead stop, just driving calmly, this is extremely comfortable. It doesn't have any of that usual dual clutch stop and go kick as it engages and disengages. Okay. The downshifts are crisp. Feel that boost build real fast. That is a feeling. Woo! Makes no waste of your pedal. That is immense. Oh my gosh, that's great. It keeps you in power. I mean, I'm in sport mode, so it keeps the RPMs up. I'm staying around 2,000 up to 3,000. As soon as I give it any gas, it immediately leaps seamlessly. Oh, traffic. All these ponies and no room to gallop. Yeah, that's where you really start to notice it. Separating it from the 10 speed. As soon as it does any kind of shifting down or up. Woo! I can't say how fast I just went, but this car can get you in trouble real easy. 0 to tickets. Real fast. As composed a car as this is, the chassis is rigid as could be, the suspension is extremely stiff, but it's not jarring in the least bit. It's not jarring in any way. The seat is bolstered as could be. I'm not going anywhere. If I were to go left or right, I'm not moving out of this chair. Gosh, what an amazing job it does. I don't know what sounds better, the supercharger itself, the whistling of the air, or those cylinders hounding away as I command more power out of this thing. Whew. Effortless. Now I'm not going to fuss with the launch control in this car. let's give it a little go. Shifts. It's every bit as fast as a German transmission. Every bit as fast. I mean, it's been a while since I've driven something like a Porsche 911 Carrera, like a 2020 car. So it's hard to compare it to something brand new. But boy, it's gotta compare. This is doing such a good job. The car does so much of the work for you. It makes going so fast. And dare I say, a sedentary characteristic. I mean, it takes all the scariness out of going that fast. Not that it isn't thrilling, it's still just as thrilling. But there's no nonsense. You don't feel worried going that quick. Car digs in, chassis stays perfect. I've never felt such a dichotomy in a car. You can feel how aggressive the car is and wants to be. It really is asking for you to do something crazy. All the while being quiet. Like, I could have a very polite conversation in here. You can drive this anywhere. Let's give it another go, shall we? All you have to do is blow kisses at the brakes, right back to a dead stop. Let's give it some go-go. Roll into the throttle. It goes so fast, you have to make a very clear decision when you need to stop. Because it'll go forever, it feels like. It has so much power, and it doesn't seem to slow down the faster I go with it. The more it just goes. I don't feel like I'm coming up to the top of a hill. It's climbing and climbing and climbing. Those gear shifts are to die for. Ah, the crispiness. There's nothing like a dual. Anybody who wants to complain, I drive a manual car. I have two cars, both of which are manual. I love manual transmissions. You know, they're my favorite. It's the best way to go, but gosh, if you're not gonna go with a manual, something like this 7-speed dual clutch is absolutely phenomenal. It's so hard to hate. I mean, you can't. Unlike so many Mustangs, I've driven fast Mustangs before. This one doesn't feel like it wants to bite you so badly. I can feel, I mean, it's a Mustang, so you can feel that rear end sometimes, especially as you get going, but this one's planted. This one's virtually built into the ground. I hate to say it, but it's on rails. If there ever was a car. I mean, gosh, it hides its weight. This car weighs about 4,000 pounds. I mean, the way it can be slung around, not a chance. Doesn't feel like it. What a dichotomy this car is. It's got manners, but you can tell as well dressed as the car is and as polite as it's being, it just wants to rip off its shirt and go running. Hell yeah, brother. You know what else? The steering wheel is to die for. And I know you can't daily one of these. I see people wear gloves when they drive their Alcantara wrapped steering wheels. And I get it, you want to preserve this. But boy, oh boy, does it feel good on your hands. I'm impressed endlessly with this vehicle. I'm in sport mode now, which is probably the mode I would prefer most. I like how it holds the gears. The resistance to the wheel has been tuned very nicely. It almost feels like it incrementally increases as you turn the wheel, which is a nice factor. If you've driven some electric power steering systems, the consistency for how soft it is stays throughout the entire turn, which gives it a weird dead feel. It's not very realistic. And even though I'm in sport, which isn't the most aggressive setting, throttle application, just trying to drive casually, is quite comfortable, but it keeps me in power. If I need to command a little bit more, I don't even think it would need to downshift to another gear for more power. A couple bumps in the road. Smooth. My spine is intact. Those downshifts, even at low speeds, as you press into the brake and it drops 2 gears, that's entertaining. What a car for feels. This isn't a GT Mustang. It's not a GT Mustang anymore. As good as that platform has become, this one takes it a whole extra step in refinement and prowess, and it shows. Turn the car off, and that was beautiful. Honestly, I like the dial a lot more than I expected. People complain about it, that it's out of place. It feels perfectly in place with this car setup. This isn't a regular Mustang. It helps set it aside, helps set it and differentiate it from the other ones. I'd really like to thank Lethal Performance for giving me the opportunity for driving this. This is great. I'm so appreciative, and I'm super happy to be a brand new member of the team. Thanks so much.